Hi, I'm Shelley Steffi, here in the heart of the Allegheny National Forest in northwestern Pennsylvania. I'm an artist and a teacher, as well as a mother and intuitive. I have been working on an ongoing series called the Full Moon Mandala Painting, and this is a workshop in which I guide a group of others, artists and non-artists alike, who are interested in exploring a just time and space to paint. And the painting experience is a design of my own in which I have utilized research as well as other teachers and guides in the realm of astrology and the current kind of planetary alignments, and which way that they ebb and flow our own inner experiences. And so this moon mandala changes and shifts with the seasons, with the times. I began exploring sacred geometry in mandala form when I was in undergrad at Indiana University of Pennsylvania studying studio art. And I became just affixed to the topic as I was working in the library at the time, checking in a whole collection of books, parapsychology books that had been donated, just happened to be while I was studying there. And the synchronicity of me being there, being able to really engulf in these abstract studies of myth and symbol and dream consciousness really became the inspiration for my artwork at the time. I combined these topics with the form of sacred geometry, which became really the symbol for me of the living things here on earth. The flower of life I began to see as being a perfect expression for the plants, animals, and living forms of nature, humans as well, that really became a study for my drawing and painting at the time. And I began to develop a series of works with these systems in mind. In 2019 was really the year that I noticed my art moved to the wayside as I was becoming more and more focused on my profession as a teacher. And when my soul really began to cry out that it needed time and space for just creativity and to just be creative. And I dedicated a whole year in line with the moon cycles for this exploration of my creativity. And it really transformed my life in a tremendous way. 2020, we all experienced a tremendous change when a pandemic hit the globe and our lives really turned inside out. And so my really gift for bringing art into the world through a unique vision, as well as a passion for helping others to find a sense of centeredness as well as authentic self for their own expression and strength within, really just has become such a centrifugal force in my spiraling journey of time that we're on here. So I have merged my hands-on needs that bring a sense of wholeness and well-being to myself with these technologies that are now available to us to present this experience, not just for my local community who has been supportive and sweet and open to these ideas, but also to this larger scale through Airbnb. So I'm really excited to really branch out of my comfort zone to bring this experience here live to others. And I am just really tickled to be offering this here. My purpose here is really just to provide others a comfortable space to explore their creativity, so that there is a place to explore a bit of the unknown and explore a sense of inner knowing with the way it belongs in a wider web, that we are all connected, and that there are similarities that run through our journeys, in which our togetherness ebbs and flows. And being in spaces sharing creativity in art, things like art and music, poetry, those that kind of transcend time, is just a very powerful way of bringing intention to creative space. So this is what I'm offering. There's really no expectation for your painting to be the Mona Lisa. It just is really the fullness of expression of yourself at that time. I'm leading by way of this mathematical lesson in sacred geometry to provide the foundation, but then we traverse the landscape of the canvas with layers of color and exploring color mixing, so that you really get to imprint on this grid your own interpretation as it suits your expression the best. So it's really amazing to see how one design can really look entirely different for everybody that has tried it, which is something that I love. It sort of reminds me of the way that snowflakes are, in that they all look like a snowflake, but when you look at it closely, each snowflake is its own unique structure. And so this is really what is coming out of this, doing this series and offering it to wider numbers. You'll need just a handful of ingredients. Your canvas doesn't have to be a fancy, professionally stretched canvas. You could even use cardboard if you want to. Really, the idea, or a blank wall. This would be a perfect canvas. Really, anything that you can paint. So you'll need some paints. I recommend having the primaries on hand: red, yellow, blue, black, and white. And if we all kind of keep with that, we can really go anywhere from there on the rainbow. And then a compass is really helpful to have on hand. It's a professional tool, as well as our way of creating the flower of life. My doggy really wants my attention right now. And then you'll also need, a towel in water, a dish of water to clean your brushes between the colors, as well as, anything else that provides you comfort: glass of water, tea, coffee, wine, whatever kind of, snacks and things you might want on hand. This is about a 2-hour long experience. So it's a focused session. We start out with a meditation, something to kind of get us connected, mind and body, anchor into the space. And this might be a story, this might be a sound bath, just really kind of depending on the energies of the month. So we'll see how March turns out, and each one will be different, as are the alignments. So we'll start with the little meditation, and then we'll kind of grid out our canvas. I would recommend having your paints kind of ready on hand to go once the timing starts. And then we just begin with the mathematical lesson on the flower of life, which can be either your favorite part or the hardest part, depending on which side of the brain you're more used to kind of habitually working from. And so we lay out this grid, which it becomes just the foundation for which we traverse layers of meaning. So we kind of talk a bit about, there's a bit of talking about the energies of the astrology and what's going on in the skies as it relates to our inner, the way that the skies and stars are set within our system as well. So there's so many similarities in correlations, of which, sacred geometry often illustrates between the moon, stars, and then what's happening in our bodies, our minds as well. And so we're really just kind of illustrating this topic through this mandala form. So hopefully, through this process, you also gain a little bit of understanding about how, your unique experience, it's connected to others as well. So the sense of belonging that we really all long for is there within this. And so we paint and we listen to some music, and we if there's ability to discuss, that's great too. There's not a whole lot of talking, as there's a lot of space for you to get into that zone. I was studying my master's degree in teaching and really researching the way in which art, making art and being in that creative zone is much like being in the state of meditation. And so this is really the space where we can find a sense of peace in centeredness within that which is changing around us all the time. And so healing takes place in this space, and that's really what's important here, the capacity for that. So I encourage others to ask questions if there are questions. Really, this can be a conversation between us, our sharing of knowledge as well. There's a lot that I have yet to learn, and so I'm a lifelong learner, and not only am I here to help guide you on this painting journey, but I also want to know the types of things that really are embedded within your experience as well. So this is a conversation, as well as, a soft place to just enter a creative zone together. So that's a little bit about the journey. Like I said, it's about 2 hours. This is the painting that I did in February. If you want to check out my Instagram at House of the Mystical Maven, the video is still up there. I believe it'll be up there for 90 days from the posting date, which is February 3rd. So it should be up for a few more months. I'm going to try and get a recording of that video that someone had done for me, just to have. But this is the completed mandala, and I really had a joy. It was the first time that I streamed live on social media, and I'm growing this practice into now requesting it through Airbnb, which I think is really a great place to meet others all over the world who might be interested in doing something like this. So this is the example. You can kind of see the layers of the flower of life I'm talking about that kind of shine through underneath. And then I did, after we completed the mandala that night, the next day I did kind of touch up some of the lines, but you can see it's abstract in a lot of ways. So what we're making can sometimes be a little representational, but it can also be pretty abstract. I do have pictures posted on my site of some of the other mandalas that we've completed. And I'm really excited to see what comes through for March. We've got a new moon still coming in February, so I don't like to jump too far ahead in my own envisioning quite yet, but we'll see what kind of wants to come through. I don't have that design to show you yet, and that is because it's part of the process and part of the channeling of the energies. So I thank you for this opportunity. I look forward to sharing this space and this art with others from all over the world. So thank you so much.